What's up, sports fans? I have this week's questions here. I have to jot them down because I can't remember all the questions. But I'll tackle them one at a time, the best that I can. Scott wants to know which is the best app to use for the golf cart trails. I didn't know there was more than one. So, and to be honest with you, Scott, I've never used either app. I don't need to. And most people that live here full time, they don't use the apps either. So I can't really tell you much about them. I thought there was only one golf cart trail app. I'll tell you what I know about it. When they first came out with it, I know a few people that did the app. And I guess apparently from what they're telling me, there was some flaws in it. It was confusing in some small areas. I don't know anything, about it. I do know they updated that golf cart app. I would, if I was going to use the app, I'd get the newest and the latest. I mean, that'd be my thing. And like I said, I didn't know there was more than one golf cart app. But if there is, get the newest one. That's really all I know. Or you can get a golf cart map. This is a 2014 that I got years ago when I first came down here because I didn't know how to do the new golf cart trails. I didn't know where they were, where they went, how to get around. It was all new. And it's a pretty good map. They're $5. You can go to any villager or any village's retail store. And when I say village's retail store, most of them I think are located inside the sales office. There might be one village retail store in Lake Sumter. I don't know if it used to be called the Mercantile, I think. I don't know if it's still there or not. But anyway, if you go to any of the sales offices, there's one in every square. Inside that sales office is a village's store where they sell logo stuff. It'll say the Villages on the coffee cups, the Villages on shirts, that kind of thing. Souvenir store, I guess you call it. But anyway, you can get that map there. It's $5. I've used it. It's a pretty good map. This is an older map, a 2014 map. But I'll tell you what I'll do, Scott, if you want, send me your address to my email. Don't send it on here. Send me your address on the email. My email has been posted several times on my videos, so just go look at some of the videos. You'll find it. And I'll mail you this map. I'll give it to you because I don't need it. I think that's Todd and Jamie. Why a high school and a charter school? Well, remember, the Villages is open to the public. We're not a gated community in any way. We're a community with gates. And anybody can build anything they want to around the edges of the villages. And that's the same thing for a school. We're a town. We're not a retirement community anymore. People like to think we are, but we're not. We've turned into a town. We don't have a mayor or anything like that. It's all been divided into districts. I'm in District 10. And I believe when you get over to Pine Hills, Pine Ridge, Osceola, that stuff over there, that's District 11. And Finney and Southern Oaks and all that down yonder down there that they're working on, that'll probably be District 12. And they have their own officials set up for different things. But as a whole, we're a town now with our own zip code. We're on the map. The Village is Florida, a legit town. So with that, if they decide they want to build a school, and with that, if they decide they want to call it the Villages High School, what are you going to do? There's a lot of places here that use the Villages name, but the Villages developers don't have anything to do with it. And I'll tell you a couple. The Villages Airport van, that's that van with the yellow stripe going down the side. They run like 24 hours a day, and they go to Orlando Airport, and they go to Sanford Airport. At one time, the Villages owned that company, and then they sold it. Now, I don't really know who they sold it to, but they sold it. So, but part of the deal was they could keep that Villages name. But Villages has nothing to do with that van whatsoever. But the Villages airport bus, or the shuttle bus they call it, I think, it goes to Orlando Airport only. And it comes straight back to the Villages only. It doesn't make any stops along the way. It'll drop people off at Sumter Landings, a bus stop up there, or they'll come down to Brownwood, and then it's behind the sales office. The bus picks up and drops off there. And my wife's used that several times. She likes that bus. The Villages Airport van, I'll be honest with you, I've been on it probably a half a dozen times, and the way they do things, it's all about money. It's not about the passenger comfort or anything like that. I just don't care for it. The last driver we had, I just didn't care for it, and I don't even use it anymore, and I won't use it anymore. I will take my car to Sanford now, and I'll pay to leave it there for a week or two before I'll take the airport van. That's just my own personal opinion. They got a lot of problems, and they need to straighten it out. Let me see here. Martin L. wants me to do a video on $1 million home or up. Well, Martin, I'm not saying that won't happen. I'm just saying it's highly unlikely that that's going to happen. I can't get in those homes probably because, generally speaking, from what my friend told me that works at the realty office, that when they get to $1 million and more, they don't have open house because they know that people come over there. Half the people coming over there are just going to, out of curiosity, they're going to look around. That's all. So most of those homes are shown by appointments only, and so, like I said, I might one day happen to be going through one of those neighborhoods for, I don't know, an event or maybe something like that, because they have a lot of events here that are in neighborhoods that raise money for charity and things like that. So if I happen to be in one of those neighborhoods, I can do a walk around maybe, but to actually get in a home and take pictures, it's highly unlikely. Robert F., are you moving to Paseo? No. I don't recall ever saying I was moving anywhere. That's the second time I've had that question, so I must have said something that people misunderstood. I went down there to visit a friend on Thanksgiving, and I stayed a couple of days, and I took some pictures, and I talked about the community being a truly gated community and so on and so forth, but no, I don't plan on moving anywhere. I'm staying here. Wants to know about older areas, clique, and older residence area when you move in. Well, that is true. When you move into an older area, which is mostly everything, I'm going to start calling it what it is, east. It's really not north, east, up to, say, Spanish Springs area and on up through there, and even farther up. The average age of the residents there are older. They've lived there quite a while, 10, 15, maybe 20 years in some cases. So yeah, they've got their cliques. They have their golf groups that they've had for years. They've got their bowling groups they've had set up for years. It doesn't necessarily mean that you can't, get in. Just let people know you want to play some golf, you want to do this or that, and but you just have to keep that in mind that yeah, they've been there a long time. They've got their old friends, and they have their own thing that they do, and that is a concern when you buy a house. That's why a lot of people buy new houses here, because everybody in the neighborhood is new, nobody knows nobody, and there is no cliques, and so it's easier for people to make friends and to get to know each other and to come up with their own ideas of what they want to do as far as activities in their neighborhood goes. Are there drag races for golf carts? You got to be joking, right? I'm not even going to take that question serious. Are there any street races? Well, that's a dumb question too. Street races out here in golf carts. Come on. Do you soup up the carts to go faster than 20 miles an hour? Well, there's a lot of carts here that go 20 miles an hour. But, they're only restricted to go so fast, no matter how you soup them up. I think the fastest golf cart I was in went 25. And that's speeding. You get a ticket for that. I mean, the golf carts are under the same street rules as a car. They'll give you a ticket in a heartbeat. They'll take your license away from you in a heartbeat. So, yeah. Is there any Porsche carts? Well, there's 2 or 3 places here I can't think of the names of them, but you'll find them. And the Villages Golf Cart Store is one of them, where you can have custom-made golf carts. The Golf Cart Man is another. He's not part of the Villages. He's off, but he's been here for a long, long time. Matter of fact, he was one of the original custom-made golf cart places before the Villages even started. He was on Fox News. I think the old man's gone now, but his boy took over. But yeah, you can have golf carts made look like anything you want. Corvettes, Mustangs, Cadillacs, Mercedes, trucks. I've seen custom-made fire truck golf carts. I saw a UPS golf cart. There's a retired airline pilot here. His golf cart is made to look like the cockpit of a jet. I think he pretty much done it himself, but it's really cool. Yeah, you can get all kinds of custom-made stuff done here. All it takes is a fat checkbook, dude. You're willing to write your check, they'll make you the golf cart. And the average golf cart custom made to look like a Cadillac or whatever, you're probably talking somewhere in the neighborhood of $20,000 to $25,000. Anything beyond that, the more intricate the details are, like say a fire truck or a semi truck. I've seen a couple semi trucks. They probably got $30,000 and up in those. So if that's what you want, yeah, you can get it done. Robbie V, should we rent a car at the airport for the Village's lifestyle visit? Robbie, I'm going to tell you the truth. You don't need a car here. A golf cart will get you anywhere, but you're going to be here on a lifestyle visit. So I don't know if you're getting an electric cart or a gas cart. I mean, that's a question you need to know. If you're getting a gas cart, all you need is a full tank of gas, dude, and you can go anywhere you want to go. I mean, anywhere. You're going to get lost 100 times anyway on the golf cart trails, so that don't make any difference. But an electric cart at night, depending on how far you go, yeah, I would find out about the cart first. Other than that, if you don't feel safe in an electric cart going very far and you want to experience all of the villages, like from Spanish Springs all the way down to Brownwood, and maybe even go down to Finney and look at the new houses, you need a car because you can't get a golf cart down to Finney. So if you want to go down there and look at the new development and see some of the houses that they're working on, go to maybe some of the open houses they have down there to look at their rec center down there. They got a gorgeous rec center down there. Maybe play golf down there, whatever you want to do. If you want to go to Finney or any of them places, you need a car. If you're not familiar with the golf cart trails and they're going to give you an electric cart, I would say yes, rent a car, but you don't need to rent one at the airport if you don't want to. You can rent one right here. Hertz and Enterprise is here in the Villages. Hertz is up at Spanish Springs, and Enterprise is at Lake Sumter. Enterprise is next to Subway. Hertz is kind of in a funny location back there. It's behind the MVP, the building that the MVP exercise place is in, I think. If you go behind that, there's like a little roundabout back there. Hertz is there. You'll find it. It's a little difficult, but you'll find it. So yeah, I would have a car just for that reason if you're wanting to explore everything. If you're just going to hang around Brownwood and you're not figuring on going anywhere else, then no, you don't need a car. Chick, Sinkhole insurance for original buyers only. Wants to know if that's what that salesman said. Yeah, it's been that way forever. That I got a little story, but the original buyer of a brand new house is the only person that can get sinkhole insurance on that house. Once that house becomes for sale and a second buyer comes along, that person cannot get sinkhole insurance. He can only get what they call catastrophic ground collapse. I know a little bit of the difference between the two. Catastrophic ground collapse insurance has to occur in such a way on your property that the fire marshal or somebody in command deems your property to be unlivable, at least at that time. You have to evacuate the house by order. Then your catastrophic ground collapse will kick in and start paying for repairs, whether it be a cracked driveway, the foundation is cracked, I mean, you don't know, whatever it is. There's usually a pretty high deductible. I think the best you can get is something like $10,000 deductible. But sinkhole insurance is the same thing. The only thing is, sinkhole insurance is, once you have a sinkhole, it doesn't make a difference where it is. Nobody has to deem the house unlivable or any of that. And the sinkhole insurance will kick in $5,000 or $10,000. I got it. Yeah, I got to play ignorant to it. I just got it. I got the max, whatever it is, and I think it's still $5,000 or $10,000 deductible. But let me tell you, caution you. I've seen sinkholes down here that, to get them fixed and to declare them safe and all that, I've seen some sinkholes cost in excess of $100,000 to get them taken care of. So it's costly. But now, an update on that. A neighbor told me, and this is from a neighbor that told me. I know, a guy that knows a guy that knows a guy. I hate these kind of reports, I really do. But I'm just going to tell you because that's what I was told. Check with your insurance company down here. That's who's going to give you the right answer anyway. She told me that they've got their house for sale. And that was one of the questions that she asked the realtor. And the realtor said that rule was changed now to where a second home buyer can request sinkhole insurance. I don't know if that's true. I have never heard that, but that's what she said. I still think it's catastrophic ground collapse. She's thinking maybe catastrophic ground collapse is the same thing as sinkhole. It's not. There's a little bit of a difference there. So check with your insurance company down here. Just to know what you're getting into. Another good reason to buy a new home, I guess. But it's not necessarily the only reason not to buy a pre-owned either. Kathy T. She's been a subscriber of mine for a while now. Kathy, is it common for people to buy another home after retirement? Yes. Excuse me. Most people buy a villa or a smaller home and use it like a vacation rental. I did the same thing. And once you retire, basically it's a place to hang your hat. And then you come down and then you start looking around because you knew that you're not going to be able to live there full time. I'm not saying you can't live there full time. You absolutely can. The houses are nice. There's nothing wrong with them. But for me, I needed a third bedroom because I wanted my own TV room. I needed a 2-car garage. In most of the villas, patio villas that I had, and even the courtyard villas back then, they were all car and a half, what they call a 1-car and a golf cart garage. I needed something bigger than that. I didn't care about a large property. I'm retired. I don't want a large property anymore. It's too much to take care of. So, yeah, I had to buy another house because of that reason. And is that common? I think so. I hear that a lot. Fitness centers and rec centers, well, they're not everywhere. And the villages don't provide you with a fitness center. That's a fallacy. What it is, they have a space inside the rec center, and they lease those spaces out to companies that operate rec centers. And then they charge you. The one down in Brownwood is not in a rec center, it's called MVP. They got a membership you can buy, or if you're a visitor, I talked to them, it's $5 a day with a guest pass, I guess. So if you want to try it out, they're $5 a day. There's one, I do know this, there's one in Colony. I don't know anything about it. I don't know if that's a village's operated system or if that's like an MVP in there. But I do know, I did stop there and I talked to the guy. It looked like a pretty nice facility. They're not open 24/7. They open at a certain hour and they close at a certain hour. I'm thinking they close something like at 10 o'clock at night or something like that. And it was the same thing, $5 a day for a visitor to use that, or you buy a membership if you're a resident. So, and I don't know if they're open to the public. They shouldn't be. I mean, it's a resident rec center, so why it would be open to the public is beyond me, but no, it shouldn't be. But these are things you ought to ask. But yeah, and there's another one at Rohan, the new recreational center at Rohan. That's a regional rec center too. Same thing. I don't know if it's open, it's a village's operated system, or if it's like an MVP in there. I don't know, but it's in there. Um, and I think there's one at the new regional rec center in the village of Finney. I'm positive there is because I went down there when they were building the building, and I talked to the contractor when they were putting in the flooring, and he told me that that was going to be a fitness center in there. So I know there's one in there, but okay, again, I don't know if it's a village's operated system or if it's a company operating it. One of the things you can ask a realtor, they can give you all the details on that. For sale by owners, are there any? Oh God, there's for sale by owners everywhere. Um, they generally don't do real well because everybody down here thinks their house is worth $1 million, but they're not, and they don't seem to have a good insight. Everybody thinks they got a special piece of property. Oh, mine's special. Oh, I got this view. Not everybody has the house I've got because I got a special something, and then they probably do, but it doesn't make the house worth sometimes what they're asking. They're just trying to get as much as they can get out of the house because they're wanting to pocket the realty fees. And so I can just tell you that the villages work very hard in selling houses. They do a very good job. I'm thinking I read somewhere that just last month alone they sold 260 or 70 brand new homes, another 200 and some used homes. Last year they sold something like 2,500 homes, and they have open houses constantly. So they do a really good job. The outside realtors, I just got my feelings about it, that's all. I'm not bad mouthing them whatsoever. I won't use an outside realtor. That's just me. Movie Pass $9.95 explained. Well, I got to thank Melody for that because I didn't know anything about it. And then my wife checked into it. But apparently, from what I'm gathering here, by the way, Melody Lane has a web page of home crafts. My wife goes there all the time and watches. I don't know anything about what it is. Sorry, I'm just not a home crafter kind of guy. But she said it's very good and very entertaining. So, those of you out there that's interested in home crafts, go to Melody Lane. She's, I guess, got a great channel, got a heck of a lot of more subscribers than what I got. But, yeah, it's like $9.95 a month. You give me your credit card number and it's automatically charged to you. And you can go to, if I got this right, one movie a day, every day, for that whole month, and it's automatically renewed every month. So you have to kind of weigh the issues if you think that it's worth it to you. Here, being retired, I would go to movies a lot more, but really they're just kind of costly. I got tired. I went to two the other day, and it was like, I don't know what it was. I don't pay attention. It's like $10 a person or something to get in. There's $20 for me and my wife. I know this is $10 a month too. There's $20, but here's the difference. I seen two movies, so there's 40. And then by the time you buy the popcorn, that's another 15, 16, 17 or whatever. You end up with like $56 to watch a couple of movies, and I didn't even like the movies. They were awful. So, yeah, this here will probably save us some bucks, but they don't come out with new movies every month either, do they? So once you've seen them all, you may have to wait before the new ones come out. And so you just have to kind of weigh the issues a little bit. But Melody, thanks. Any of you guys, home crafts, thanks. Keep up the good work. I'm up to, I think, 800 subscribers. I got 200 more to go. And February 20th, I think, was the cutoff date. So that's roughly 20-some days. So I got to get an average of about 10 subscribers a day. I'm not sure I'm going to make it. But we give it a hell of a try. But I still need them. I still need them bad. Otherwise, I may have to cut my channel. I don't know. But I'm working on very hard on not having to. But yeah, I need 200 more subscribers bad. So, but Melody, thanks. When you did what you did, for about 3 or 4 days there, I was getting about 6 to 8 subscribers, I think mostly from you, every day. And then after about 3 or 4 days, they just kind of quit. So people have a short attention span. You know that, and I know that. And then the guy that has the Inside the Bubble book and the vlog that he does, when he put us in there in his vlog, I was doing great for about 3 or 4 days, and then it kind of teetered off a little bit. But yeah. Well, by the way, the village is insidethebubble.com. I just assumed it was a .com. Apparently, it's not. It's a .co. I never heard of that, but it's insidethebubble.co. Go there, check it out. A lot of information. The guy's very knowledgeable, and he writes a book. I mean, I highly recommend it. Lizards, snakes, and crawly things. Kathy, are you scared of all the lizards and snakes and crawly things? It's no big deal. Lizards, yeah, we got like 6 different kind of geckos, but they're just the little ant eaters kind of like thing, mosquito eaters. I like them around because I don't have hardly any mosquitoes here at all. Snakes, yeah, we got it's called a black racer, I think. It's a little long, skinny snake. And what they basically feed on is the lizards. They chase them around in the bushes and whatever. Here, I've been here for 4 years now. I haven't seen one. They're around because when I drive around once in a while on a road, I'll see a dead one where a car hit it. I think they pretty much hang around the watery areas. So if you've got a house close to water or close to, say, a jungle type looking area, they have like set aside land for natural habitat. You're probably going to see more of them than anybody else. I'm not around water. I'm not around the habitat area. I haven't seen any. In 4 years, I haven't seen any. Crawly things would be mostly spiders, I think. And, I haven't seen that many. In the garage, once in a while, they'll get in there and they get up in a corner. They're a little spider. I don't know what they are, but I'll take a broom, sweep them out. I mean, and that's about it. There ain't no crawly things here to much worry about. And if you're talking about boa constrictors or pythons, that's further south. Here in the wintertime, we get some cold nights. Like the other night, it's like 20-some degrees. I think that pretty much limits how far north they're going to go. And, so we don't have any of that here. Not that I've ever seen. William A. looking for a gas stove in home. Well, they do have gas areas, William. Down here, there is none. It's all electric. If you're wanting a gas furnace, gas stove, gas utilities, I do know, because I had a house in Caroline. The village of Caroline has gas. I had gas. And I am with you on that. I like a gas stove. The gas furnace and stuff, I don't really care one way or the other. Not here, because we don't have that much cold to worry about. But the gas stove, yeah, for cooking. I wish I had a gas stove, but we don't. But Caroline does, which that may even extend over to Mallory, because Mallory's next door to Caroline. I don't know how far that gas area goes. I don't know. But there are areas, villages here, that have gas utilities. Just ask your realtor, and he'll be able to point you the right directions. Scott C. Which app is the best for... Oh, I already got that question, didn't I? Beach House. Villages, will they ever run old-time movies? I don't think the Villages has anything to say about it, truthfully. Because in order to show movies, you have to sign some kind of a legal agreement. That gives you permission, and you got to pay a lot of money to give you permission to show the latest and greatest movies. Will they ever show like an old, I assume you're talking like an old, like John Wayne movie or something like that? I don't know. I guess they could do what they want to do. They own everything. But I haven't never heard of one up to this point. Not to say it hasn't happened. I don't know what they do because I worked. So I don't know what they did every day that I worked. But I haven't ever heard of one. I wouldn't count on it. Steve F. Pros and cons of electric versus gas. As far as I'm concerned, Steve, as big as the Villages is getting, there is no choice. Gas. I won't even get into the pros and cons. You don't want an electric cart. I'm just telling you how I see it. The Villages are getting so big. I had an electric cart. I had a park car. That's the best one built. You can go, like they say, 80 to 85 miles on a charge. Don't count on that. I'm going to say 60 to be safe. It will do that. That's not to say that they're fail safe. They're not. Happened to us once in a park car. No problem. Everything's good. Batteries are fully charged. There's a gauge on there that shows you batteries are fully charged. And then all of a sudden the cart just quit. Something went pop and it just quit. Ended up being some kind of a solenoid. You had to call the AAA park car or the cart aid guy to come pick you up. He took it over to park car. It was under warranty. It was a new cart. It was under warranty. They fixed it, brought it back. But in the meantime, I was over a week without a cart because park car doesn't do anything fast. Nothing. It'll take them 2 weeks just to get the cart in the shop because they have an exclusive rights to parts. And yeah, it's a problem. So in the gas cart, I've had this gas cart now going on 5 years. Change the oil once a year, and other than that, full tank of gas and go. I don't worry about anything. I go anywhere I want to go, do anything I want to do. It's like a car, you know. Not everybody's got electric cars, so it's just something to think about. But yeah, in my opinion, if you're asking my opinion, don't even fool around with it. I don't know where you're buying a house or what you intend to do. Just get a gas cart. Be done with it. And I believe that is all that I can see. Okay, sports fans. I'm doing this on my phone because I've had one complaint actually, about the sound quality of the GoPro 5 that I use for vlogging. I've got new stuff on order. Most of it's here, but I had to order a $50 unit that plugs into the camera that allows me to plug in the microphone. These GoPro 5s are notorious for this. It's not an easy fix. By the time I get done, I think I'm going to have like $170 wrapped up into an external microphone that'll work. So, and I've already ordered everything, so I'm not going to use that if I can keep from it. And so when it gets in, we'll see. Hopefully I get it done by Friday news. I got a couple of big things to tell you on Friday news. So until then, I'll see you on the other side. Y'all take care.